Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Today, I am featuring fellow business owner Natascha from Spain. Welcome,
Hello.
Natascha.
Hello. Thank you for your invitation.
So, would you like to just introduce know how long you've been in the business and who you are, and just a little bit of a brief synopsis, if you don't mind?
Mhm. I'm Natascha. I'm originally from the Netherlands. I've been living in Spain for nearly 26 years. I have
Oh,
two teenagers. I'm married to a Spanish man. Uh, I am previously to me starting this business, I was a medical interpreter and receptionist. And I lost my job, unfortunately, a few months prior to me starting this, and that's what actually made me land up here. And this business I started, it's going to be my fifth anniversary coming up soon in end of April. And end of April, it's going to be 5 years already. Oh my gosh!
oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Congratulations. So
yeah,
you must love it if you're still here 5 years later.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
I have to say that first. And two teenagers, like boys,
yeah.
girls.
A
What
boy and a girl.
a boy and a girl. I remember the teenage years. They can
Oh my
be
God! It's
challenging. So having an online business to kind of get yourself in a different space, I can totally see that being a good thing. So how did you come across this online business? Like, how did it present itself to you?
Well, as I said, I lost my job, and yeah, I was devastated that I lost my job because it was quite unexpected. I've never been unemployed in my life.
Mm,
So when I heard that my contract wasn't getting renewed because of financial problems that the company was going through, so that left me without a job, and I was just in a point in my life that, oh my God, what am I going to do now? So I did a few job interviews, but I've been quite lucky up till now because I've always been able to combine my job well with my family life and my kids, school, and things like that. So every interview I did, it was either working with shifts or strange hours, and the only thing I could think about, oh my God, what am I going to do with my kids? What am I going to do with my kids? And yeah, 6 years ago, they were 10 and 11 when about 10 and 11 when I started this business. So they were still small. So yeah, that wasn't working for me. I was thinking of doing something else, a different career path, maybe a different course, something different, and even look into being a wedding planner and things like that. But the time it would take me to get a degree in that, plus my credentials are from the Netherlands, and apparently they're not valid here. So that means that I had to do,
yeah,
like an adult high school in the evening hours, and I don't have the time to go to school in the evening.
yeah.
So my dad said, "Why don't you start a business offline?" I said, "A business offline? Oh my gosh, then I'll never be home. I don't want to be stuck to a business because I mean that's it requires a lot of your time. I mean, being your own boss is one thing, but depending how, because I mean, in an
Yeah,
offline business, you just don't have time for yourself. You have to be there. You have to be present for your business all the time. So I decided to take some time off, and yeah, that's been it was longer than expected because it's been 5 years that I took that I've been off. And you're just scrolling on my newsfeed. An ad popped up that brought me here, and I can't remember exactly what the ad said. It was something about um, a woman with 4 kids working from home at home and earning a living from. That's the only thing I remember because that's what caught my eye. And I went in there, I checked it out, and here I am, nearly 5 years later.
that's awesome. I love that you brought up, and not that I love, but you brought up a really good point. How you lost your job and you found yourself, what am I going to do? How many people have found themselves in that situation? A lot of people, a lot of people. That's why it's so smart to have a plan B, to
Exactly.
have something as a backup, just
Yeah.
in case that happens, because there are no guarantees anymore out there in the
No.
workforce.
I
Uh,
just I was just too comfortable, you know.
yeah,
But back then I didn't know the online space existed. I didn't know
yeah,
that that there were possibilities that I could earn a living online. So I didn't look for it. So it just happened. So
yeah.
now I'm grateful that I lost my job, because otherwise I might not have been here, and I was, keeping going on being comfortable.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
you
Well, and
just never know.
that's another great point. We get comfortable.
Hmm.
We get until life comes along and does something, like in your case, does something. Like back in my father's generation, it was so different. Like you went to
Hmm.
work and you stayed there for 30, 35 years, however long you stayed there. You had a pension and work was secure. You knew that when you had a job, you were going to be there for a lifetime, pretty much.
Exactly.
But that is not the way of the world anymore. Like nothing
Oh
is
my gosh. No.
secure. And you should never just rely on one income.
Hmm.
So I love that you brought that point up. So now that you've been here for 5 years, could you tell us a little bit, like, did you have any, obviously you didn't have any experience in the online space. So how did you adjust? Like, how did you adapt to working online?
I mean, I remember me watching the free webinar and all that, because everybody has to follow the process, the step by step steps, the system to get where you need to be. And I was listening to all, and I didn't understand nothing of it. Even the webinar, it was like listening to a different language, But I don't know. I was just too curious, just not to let it go. I had to check it out, so I just jumped in. I just jumped full in without even doing any research, nothing. I just stepped in. And yeah, I was a bit scary in the beginning, because I thought, oh my gosh, this is something I've never done before. What if I fail? What if this? And what if it doesn't work? And that and that. But thankfully, we have a perfect training system that explains everything steps wise, and it's all through video, so you can always look back. So it's not that you get a training and then, oh my gosh, after a few months you forget about it. I even have to look back into our training sometimes, because I'm human and I'm getting to an age that I forget things. So occasionally you have to look back, but that's the beauty of this, because we have everything in front of us that
Yeah,
we.
that's
Hmm,
you're so right. Like, and we have access to the training 24/7.
hmm,
It's constantly updated by our
outdated.
community.
Hmm,
So everything that's up to date on the social media platforms, it's all up to date,
hmm,
and we have so many different modalities as far as knowledge base
yeah.
in our community to bring it to the table, right? So we have so much to draw from, absolutely. So now that you're in the online space and out there, what do you love most about this business?
I I'd say that first of all, the reason I stepped into this system, because I didn't have to sell anything. I don't like the typical marketing businesses that you have to sell stuff. So that was the icing on the cake that made me say yes. This is it.
Yes.
But I guess the ability to be able to work whenever you want to work. You don't have fixed hours, so you can just decide what you do with your time, decide when you want to do this, because in the end of the day, you are going to be your own boss of your own business. So you decide what you want to do with it. You can spend 24 hours on it, 8, 2, 3. It doesn't matter, because you decide, and I can work around my family, and unless instead of the other way around. With a job, you have to work according to your job hours, and now you just adapt to to your lifestyle. So it has given me, it has freed up my time,
Yeah. Yeah.
to
Well, the
be able to do other
flexibility
things.
for sure is one of the main highlights of this business, right? You can work along an existing career if you already have one, or you can, if you don't and you do this full time, you can do this whenever you want to, in the morning, in the middle of the night if you wanted to, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Whenever you wanted to, and then you could prioritize your other interests or whatever else you wanted to do in
Right.
life. So where do you see yourself in 5 years with this?
Oh my gosh, I see myself. Well, retired, no, because I mean, this is a business that you don't need to retire because practically once you're up and running, it runs by itself. Of course, not at 100% by itself. You do have to put in the work, of course. But practically, it runs by itself because we have a system that does a lot of the work for you. And I see myself, well, I'll say it, retired with my husband. By then, I'm sure the kids will be out of the will be out of the house. I don't know. In a small little house, or just traveling all around the world, and enjoying life. That's what I want. I'm quite humble. It's not that I'm someone that want a big car or a big house. Just just enjoy life, traveling. I mean, when I go to the grave, I can't take all that stuff with me, so I might as well just spend it and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, what advice would you have for people that are out there and considering or just thinking and watching? What would you give them advice about this business? What would you say?
I think this is a business that ticks off a lot of boxes in all aspects. I
Oh,
mean, it's affordable for everybody because we have different ways that people can start. So you don't have to sell anything. You don't have to bother people by selling just random stuff. Plus, it is something that can last you for a lifetime. So it's not just a quick fix or a get rich quick and I start today and tomorrow I'm a millionaire. But it's something you can build and brand yourself. Something that's going to be yours. It's something with your face behind it, just like you and me, and so that you can pass on to your kids or to your grandkids or whatever. So yeah, it's a complete system. It's just yeah, I call it a business in a box, just ready for you to get plugged into.
yeah. Oh, that's awesome, Natasha. And you brought up another great point that this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is an actual business that you're building for yourself. That has longevity. We have now our communities now, well, coming up to our 8th year,
Yeah.
and we're just getting stronger and more resilient. So it is a business that you're building for yourself, and you can leave it to your family, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
if anybody's out there and they are interested, just send me off a message or log into my website, which is on my window here, and you can watch a complimentary webinar and get started that way. But either way, we'd love to see you on the inside. So thank you again, Natascha, for joining me. I love
You're very
meeting
welcome.
you and having you here. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day.